You're actually you're the first person that has signed up for this little community podcast that I'm trying to do here. So thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll kind of set it off for however many people I end up get signed up for it. So I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you want to do something like this?
I think initially it was, I've kind of been into the podcast arena a little bit. Just I enjoy talking to people and getting different perspectives and just learning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have wisdom to share, but I think right now it's really important to just stay connected with people because we don't really have that anymore in our day to day. We're all kind of isolated and whatnot. So I thought this would be a perfect time to reach out and just meet new people.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, so I'm excited. You're from Michigan, right?
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you're in San
San
Diego,
Diego.
yes?
Yeah, so we're far apart
Oh,
here, but it's really cool
I
what
know.
technology can do to connect us. You know?
Isn't it though?
Yeah. I was looking at
Yeah,
your signature in your email. I think I lost it here, but I really like what it said. Let me see if I can find it. You might know it off the top of your head.
yeah.
Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. I love that. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, I do too. And it I read that, oh gosh, years and years and years
Hmm.
ago. I'd seen it somewhere and I just thought that's pardon me, it's such a wonderful thing to say and to think about. It's like get out of your own mind
Hmm.
for a second and have some consideration for others.
Right.
Like just because you're having a crappy day, don't make someone else's day,
Yeah.
crappy, or don't just assume that what you see someone how they present, don't just assume that their life is wonderful.
Hmm. Right. You never know what someone's going through.
Exactly. So that's just always impacted me. So I like to have that as a signature.
That's good. You're spreading the message there to people that you might not even think are gonna read it. So that's
So
awesome.
true.
Yeah. It's important to have compassion like that because you really never know what someone's going through. Someone
Definitely.
someone shared with me, I think it was like a Buddhism quote. Someone random that I came across on Facebook just um, they dropped this piece of knowledge on me that we're all suffering. Everyone's suffering, everyone's going through something. No one's life is perfect, no matter like where you're at in life. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
important to stay compassionate and understand that. And
Absolutely. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I mean, because there's so many times when, we're out and about, like, before the lockdown,
Hmm.
but when you're out and about and they're in a hurry and they're frustrated and,
Yeah.
whatever their projection onto you is, that's their issue. They're hurting.
Yeah.
Anyone that's lashing out or rude or whatnot, they've got a lot going on. They're hurting. So I just think it's so much better it and to stop and just kind of back up and just acknowledge like, you know,
Hmm.
they're they're having a really bad day, a really bad month, a bad year, whatever, and not take it personally.
Yeah. Super important to take that step back and remember that definitely because you don't know what their day's like, so don't let it impact your day.
Mhm.
I think you said that perfectly.
Definitely.
So the only thing I really know about you is you're from Michigan, and I want
Hmm.
to say in your TikTok bio, which is how we met, kind of how this
Yep.
kind of came about, is I think you're a adult mental health clinic student. I want to say you're getting your master's.
Yeah, getting my master's in clinical social work.
Gotcha, gotcha. So what made you want to get into that, if you don't mind me asking?
No, that's fine. I love helping people. And I have my undergrad degree is in psychology. Um, it's so fascinating. always just gravitated towards, like interesting people and,
Hmm.
having a conversation. And I love asking questions and finding out about people and, what their life is like and what their experiences have been. And I love, if there's like a different language or a different religion, it's just,
Hmm.
I'm very curious and I want to know about that. So, um, so kind of, going into psychology was such a perfect fix. It's like, I want to know what makes people tick and why people do what they do and try to get that understanding. And, so it was a marvelous undergrad degree. And then I ended up making some connections with a clinical psychologist, and she was opening up her practice for private practice. And so she was, well, do you want to work with me? And so I was kind of like running her office. And then there was some neurofeedback that was in the office that she was doing. And so I kind of got into that. And she, paid for my training, so I could be a technician. And so I'm already like in the field, like helping folks to feel better and having a good understanding of um, anxiety, depression, sleep
Hmm.
issues, things like that. It was wonderful to get like hands-on experience right out of college.
Yeah.
And I get to work with her. She was great, and it just progressed. And I'm like, I really want to stay in the field. I want to get my master's. So social work is a better fit for
Okay.
me than getting like a master's of psychology.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I love the sense of community, the folks that I met, in my community. It's incredibly diverse, and I just really, really enjoy it. So
That's awesome.
social work is a good fit.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's super beneficial that you were able to get into the field, and have that chance to figure out if, what direction you wanted to go. Having that hands-on experience probably helped you a ton with that, right?
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me, um, I think I would recommend people, doing internships and just getting out into the field. If there are any, high school students or young college students listening, or just really anyone that has not figured out what they want to do, just kind of get your feet wet. And you're never going to know for sure unless you try it. And I think that's super beneficial, the path that you took. And now you, at a young age, know what you want to do for the most part, right? You said you, what did you want to do with your master's in social work?
So there's like it's kind of like two different areas that I
Hmm.
want to branch out in. I don't know how I can make those work.
Okay.
I guess I will tell, but I love being able to, I like the therapy of it.
Gotcha.
I want to be, I want to do like the adult mental health, therapy. Um, because I love being able to help people feel empowered,
Hmm.
help them, give them the tools, train them, help them so that they're able to be advocates for themselves.
I love
And
that.
then when they're empowered, they're able to have a great life.
Hmm.
I feel like if you're empowered, you can make better choices and you can take care of yourself and you can thrive. And that's really what I want to do for folks. The other part that I'm really interested in is like the social justice part, where you're working with policy and helping to make changes so that things are easier, more accessible for the community. So I like both of those aspects.
Gotcha. I'd like to actually, because the first one, in terms of like, the therapy aspect of it, kind of uh, touches home a little bit for me. So a little bit of background. So my mom, she has depression, and she struggled with that. And she worked at Kaiser. Is Kaiser a kind of
Yeah,
a nationwide thing? You know of Kaiser, right? It's a pretty big
I
company.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty big in California for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she worked there, and I know she was, on medication, and I'm not sure exactly how often she would go in to see a therapist, but she would. But I know Kaiser, at least as of recent, they didn't get enough funding, I believe, to their mental health department.
Oh,
Um, so it's kind of tough to get appointments there. I just in January started seeing a therapist, and so I'm under my mom's insurance still. So I went to Kaiser initially and I had my first visit, but then they wouldn't be able to see me for 2 months after that. So I'm like,
oh,
I kind of
wow.
need someone more often than that.
Yeah.
But luckily, they kind of contracted out to this company called PsyCare. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm getting appointments pretty much like every 2 weeks, which is around where I would like to be. So that's good. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm I don't know. Right now, everything is virtual, and that kind of throws off the flow a little bit. But also, I don't know if I have the right fit in terms of my therapist right now.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Um, so I feel like the way you described it, I would enjoy having a therapist that kind of empowers me. But the way she goes about it is almost just she's just kind of there to listen, and she doesn't really give me the tools. She doesn't give me any homework to take home with and work on, or any
Mm,
tools like how I can, just better these different aspects of my life that I'm struggling with. Um,
okay.
so yeah, I'm considering, you know, trying to find a new therapist within this company, PsyCare. But then I'm also worried like I might not be able to get an appointment. I might have to take a longer gap while I switch because they do have them booked out maybe a month and a half, maybe even 2 months in advance. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
That's got to be incredibly tough. Um,
Yeah, not easy.
so with Psycare, is it like a telehealth service or can you go in person?
So I was going in person up until the virus hit. Now everything is they have to do this telehealth thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was in person, and I felt like that was a lot better than it is over this. It's almost like a FaceTime um, type of thing to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I will say part of my master's program is we do like um, it's like a virtual like internship, which is part of it,
Hmm.
which is to get us accustomed to a telehealth situation,
Okay.
because so many providers are kind of like leaning towards that, out of the sake of like convenience for folks. So the pros of that would be your there's no commute time, you don't have
Hmm.
to fight for parking, you're not having to walk too far to get in there, and then you walk in and you're huffing and puffing and stressed or hot and sweaty or whatever.
Yeah.
So there are like some benefits to it, but because I've already done the virtual portion of the internship for my program, and it is different for sure. So you do feel more of, in my experience, there's a better feeling of like connection to the client when you're in the same room together.
Hmm.
Um, it, I feel like the our like clients that we have, they're actors, of course, but you just feel like there's a better connection, and you can see the person. You can see, if they're feeling anxious. You can see a foot twitch. You can see, hands.
Yep.
If they're whatnot. So you can get a better read on their nonverbals, which is nice. Um,
Right.
but I can't imagine that that's got to be tough because you're just now getting a, a therapist and now you're
Hmm.
going to the virtual. So how was that feeling for you? Did you feel disconnected from them at all?
Yeah. So I've only done one session with the virtual,
Okay.
um, and that was last Friday actually. Or no, yeah, it was just this past Friday. So just 4 days ago.
Okay.
I might be mixing up my dates. It could have been a week and a half ago, actually.
Seriously, I know there's been
Time is just, yeah.
87 days of April.
But yeah, I think like it wasn't too bad. It was just, I don't know if it was my Wi-Fi or hers, but it was kind of sometimes we're going in and out of being connected,
Yeah.
and then just the visual of it is not very clear. It's not definitely not high quality, so I couldn't really see her facial expressions either. Um,
Oh,
it's not too bad. It's just I think it might be more of the fit that I have with my therapist that I'm more struggling with.
okay.
But also, depending on how long this kind of telehealth thing lasts or this virus lasts, anyways, I know I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of ads for I don't know how to describe them, but these like mental health. I don't know if they're apps or programs, I guess, where you get connected with a therapist and you can change, but you can like text them through all hours of the day, call them and all that. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yes, I have seen I think it's Better Health. I think
Yes, better health.
that's one of them. Um,
Yeah.
I've seen it briefly, so I don't really know like how well it works. I don't. It seems to be like it's just a texting app, or just that's how you communicate. I'm not totally clear on it.
I think it's better. I just looked it up. Better help.
Okay.
So I was just gonna see if they have kind of a summary of what it is, because I think it could be mostly texting, but I feel like, oh, here's the, how will I communicate with my counselor? Exchanging messages, chatting live, speaking over the phone, or video conferencing.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting. It's something I might look into, but I know cost wise, since I am insured with Kaiser,
Mm-hmm.
it's only a $5 copay.
Oh,
So
fabulous.
yeah, it's really good for me right now. I know switching to one of these things would be a lot more. Um,
Yeah. Um,
so I'm gonna try to make it work, but
can I ask how
yeah.
you found your therapist?
Well, they kind of, so starting with Kaiser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even with them, I didn't really get, like an option per se. Just kind of they gave me someone, and I actually liked the guy that I had my initial thing with, but because it's every like 2 months for an appointment, I couldn't stick with them, so
Yeah.
got contracted out to PsyCare, and they also just kind of matched me with someone. There wasn't really much of a choice that they gave me,
Okay. Got.
which I'm not sure, if there's like any type of survey in the world that would really be able to match you up perfectly on the first try with someone. So it's kind of just, I guess, up to the patient to figure out what works for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, One thing that I will suggest, and this is what I've used for years since I worked with a clinical psychologist, I always recommend psychologytoday.com.
Okay.
And, they put out all, their monthly like publications, their magazines and whatnot. But if you go to their website, it allows you to plug in your city, your insurance provider, and then you can also choose, like what you want to talk about, and it will help narrow down a therapist that is like certified and qualified for your specific needs.
Oh wow.
So I really, really like it. And if there's like, if you know, like offhand, like what type of therapy modality works for you, you can find that on there too. You can search for that. So if you want a
Okay.
therapist in San Diego that does cognitive behavioral therapy or that does motivational interviewing, things like that, you can sort that out and find it'll, give you a list of folks that will provide that for you. And then you can go through and
Gotcha.
kind of read their bios and see if they sound like it might be a good fit. And then
Hmm.
usually you'll just, call their office and chat with them or chat with the receptionist to kind of get a feel for if they're taking new clients and whatnot. But
Interesting.
it's a nice resource.
Yeah, that's super beneficial. I'm on their website right now. It looks pretty easy to navigate. In terms of the types of therapy, um, I have never kind of dove into these. There seems to be a lot on here. I know the man that I talked with at Kaiser talked to me about cognitive behavioral therapy, um, but I don't know exactly what type of therapy I'm getting right now, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Um,
Because that would be
I
something
don't
really
know.
important to, and you can also look for the therapist that you're seeing. You can also search for them through
Hmm,
Psychology Today, and you can see
gotcha. That's a
what
good
their
idea.
practice is. Sometimes it'll tell you, like where they went to school, what kind of licensures that they have. Um, so that
Okay, yeah,
that will help you too.
definitely. Thank you for that. I appreciate you helping me out here.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't what you were expecting when you wanted to
No,
hop on this call. Now
that's
I'm in a therapy session with
that's
you.
all right. This is the field I want to go in. So I
Gotcha. Okay.
enjoy helping folks.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure if anyone, is listening to this and maybe wants to find a therapist near them, psychologytoday.com looks like a pretty good place to start for sure.
Definitely.
So thanks for that
Yeah,
resource.
my pleasure.
I'm kind of curious. I guess my original idea was to kind of talk about how the virus is impacting people in different
Okay.
locations. You're in Michigan, so I figured it's kind of a hot spot up there,
It
right?
is, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
there's around like 20,000 some um, cases, and the like Wayne County, like the Detroit area, has been hit really, really hard. Um,
Mm,
so it's astounding. I was because of this virus and because of the social distancing and self quarantining and whatnot. I one of the like one of the ways that I'm trying to get through this, because I just I live by myself. I can't go see my family, and so everything
mm-hmm.
is FaceTiming, WhatsApp,
Yeah.
whatever modality we can get our hands on. But I like having a social happy hour every week. So
Okay.
one of the ways that I'm trying to kind of like de-stress and decompress and still have that connection is a virtual happy hour. So my girlfriends and I will call each other. Sometimes it'll be like a couple of us on the phone. Sometimes it's just me and one of my other friends, and we spend 30 minutes to an hour, and we just talk about whatever and laugh, and we'll have a
Mm-hmm.
beverage of our choice, and we just try to make the best of it, um,
Yeah.
which has been really helpful because it's been really hard. This has been well, it's been 30 days so far for me
Mm-hmm.
that I've been home, and I tell you, the first 2.5 weeks were really tough because we're
Okay.
changing our behavior, and it's
Yeah.
a normal thing, and it was really, really challenging. I didn't think I would experience that kind of um, emotional just overwhelm that I did. So, and a lot of my friends are feeling the same thing. So it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. We have
Hmm.
to stay connected. We have to. I know. I know my roommate. Well, pretty much all my roommates. I live with four other people and two couples, and they're on FaceTime and Zoom calls and Skype sessions with their friends
Yeah.
as much as they can because it's the only contact we get, the only social time that we get. So I think your virtual happy hour is a good idea for people to try out. Definitely, if they've been isolated for a month
Yeah,
now, like most of us have. You gotta do what
absolutely.
you gotta do.
So it's been
Yeah.
really, really challenging. Um, So in Michigan, anyhow, so our governor extended the stay-at-home order until the end of April. So, which I mean, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with it, but it's I need to make sure that when I'm chatting with my girlfriends, like we're all making sure that we're getting outside at least twice a day. Go for a
Mm-hmm.
walk, for a half hour. Get outside, try to get some fresh air.
Yep.
Get some good sun on your skin. Um, get that vitamin D
Yeah.
to help with the depression. So, yeah, it's been challenging. How is it
Super
for
important.
you in California?
Luckily, we have the sun, obviously. It's been a little rainy, but I'm sure it's nothing like other places. Um, Today was chilly and cloudy, but it's still in the 60s. Um, but in terms of, getting sun most days, um, I think most of us can manage here. Just going outside, like
Okay.
you said, taking a walk. Um, I'm still working because I work in
Okay.
insurance, so considered essential. So at least I get my
Right.
walk to my car, to and from the office and from my house.
Yeah.
So that's something. But we have like a nice little front area where we can go outside and set up some chairs or maybe like jump rope or whatever to stay active. So we're managing here, but I'm concerned with other people who don't have that luxury who weren't considered essential. And I don't want to get too negative here, but there are people that are losing their jobs or they have a small business that they can't keep up with.
Absolutely.
um, Tough times, but I don't know. All we can do is stay
Yeah.
positive for them,
The unemployment rates, are just, it's skyrocketing. And my
Yeah.
heart breaks for all of these folks that are experiencing all of this. So, yeah, so I feel like, I just that positive, the consciousness, having some good energy,
Hmm.
just putting all that out there because it's every little bit helps.
Yeah, a smile can go a long way. It can
Definitely.
be contagious, and um, I know obviously I don't know about you guys, but we're going out with masks now. Pretty much
Yeah,
90% of us have
we started
masks
that
on.
too.
Um, Gotcha. Yeah. So you can't exactly smile at people anymore, so that was taken away from us. But it's for the best, of course. But as long as everyone is reaching out to, uh, their friends and family and making sure everyone in their life
Yeah,
is doing okay, that's the best we can do
absolutely.
right
Yeah,
now.
just keep checking on everyone that you care about, sending an email, a text, just whatever form, a pigeon carrier if you can,
Hmm.
but any form of communication, just to check on folks and let them know that you're still thinking of them. Gosh, it means so much.
Yeah. Now is the time to even reach out to some friends that you haven't been
Yeah.
keeping up with. I know I've got like 4 or 5 friend requests on Facebook from people I haven't talked to
Wow.
in forever. So now is the time to, rekindle
Yeah.
those lost flames, those
That
lost
is so
friendships.
great.
I think there's a silver lining in this. There's a lot of bad going on, but there's definitely a silver
Yeah, I
lining. We just got
agree.
to find
I
it.
feel like that some of the silver lining is that humanity will have um, a better connection with each other. So because
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
not having a hug for a month, and I'm a huggy person,
Oh
so
man.
it's tough. So
Hmm.
you really start to
It
think about
really
the
is.
value of a hug and the value of a smile, and gosh, it's so nice to have those.
Absolutely. I was at my dad's house. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just I got some groceries for him and some bandanas that he could use as masks. Um, but yeah, it was sad not being able to hug him like
Yeah,
I normally do. Um, but
that is rough.
looking forward to the day when we can. I'm hoping that day
I'm
will
right
be
there
here
with you.
soon.
I'm looking forward to it being over too. My gosh. It's incredible. Just incredible to see how it's impacting the entire world.
I think we'll be a lot more compassionate at the end of this, because it affected everyone.
Yes.
Everyone
Ab-
got hit by it. So we're
yeah,
all going to
that
feel
that
more
is my
connected.
hope. So I do think that's a definite
Yeah,
silver lining out of all of this for sure. So how are
absolutely.
you managing like your feelings? What are you doing to process?
I'm trying to reach out more often because before this I was more closed off than I would like to admit. Um, I got really focused on, I'm kind of working on this thing here with this WIM Today little community that I'm trying to build. So I got really uh, just too focused on that, whereas my other friends are, they're still going out and hanging out with each other. And I decided, I'm just going to kind of hunker down and work on this because it's something I want to kind of build for the future. So I kind of lost a little bit of my immediate connections, but those are people that I can just reach out to at any time and kind of rekindle that, and we'll pick up right where we left off. So I think that's something I need to do more of, is reaching out to my friends that you know maybe the connection was lost
Yeah.
a little bit before this.
You're,
So I think that's my goal. I might take you up on that virtual happy hour and start
yeah.
something with my
I tell you,
friends for
it's
that.
just it was so fun. And because a couple of us gals, like we would, we would call each other once in a while, but we would mostly just text to go like meet up,
Hmm.
for dinner or lunch, coffee, something. And but now it's like, yeah, now we're
Yep.
actually like using the phone as a phone. Go figure. And we just get in that habit of it, it just feels a little just isolating in that sense. So we just kind of, use that
Yeah,
as a little text and whatnot. But it's really nice to kind of like have like this changed behavior. So having virtual happy hour, it's
I know what you
great.
mean. I got Yeah, I got so caught up in the texting only, and I lost the that phone call touch and the FaceTime touch. I definitely I'm starting to use the phone a lot more in terms of calling people and FaceTiming people and everything. Me and I guess we kind of did a virtual happy hour yesterday. A few of us. I can't remember what the app is called. I think it's
Oh,
like Hangout or something, but it's got a bunch of games on there, and it's kind of like you get to see each other's faces, and you play what's that game? Heads Up, I think it's called, where
I
you kind of
love
guess what
that
the other
game
person is
so
drawing. Trivia games, yes,
much. Yeah.
that was super fun. So more of that
Awesome.
in the near
That is
future for sure.
awesome.
People are gonna find ways to stay connected. There's a quote at the end of The Office. I
Occasionally.
don't know if
I
you
need to
watch The Office.
watch a little bit more.
Okay, so yeah, I've watched it beginning to end probably like 5, 6 times at least. So there's Creed at the very end. I don't want to spoil it, but there's just a quote. He says, "I want to say human beings have this miraculous gift of making any place home, no matter
Oh,
where they're at. They make it home." And I think that rings true to kind of what we're
yeah.
doing right now. Even though we're not together, we still
Yes.
we
Oh,
hold that
that's so
connection to each
lovely.
other.
Aw. Yeah. And I tell you,
Yes.
it feels so good to have that connection and to see your
Hmm.
friends, see your folks and chit chat and laugh. Gosh, it's so nice. Hmm.
Yeah, it's the little things that really that'll
Absolutely.
make your day,
Absolutely.
that'll make you happy.
So, um, I thought I saw in one of your TikToks, which TikTok, by the way. I
Hmm.
love this app so much. Oh my gosh. It
It's
is.
a
And
joy for sure. People
incredibly,
are
it's
so
just, oh
creative.
my gosh. And one of my friends, she had got on it and she was like, oh, what is this app? And what, and this is like in January. And I said, oh, for heaven's
Hmm.
sakes. And she says, I'm going to be using this. And I'm going to, in my downtime, I'm going to learn some TikTok dances. And I just rolled my eyes at her like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. That sounds
Hmm.
great. And then she was like, no, you've got to look at this. Just get on the app. And I was like, oh, fine. So I got on and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so fun. So many creative people, so many cool people. Like
Hmm.
every topic imaginable practically is on this. So I'm like, okay,
Yep.
so now I'm completely hooked. So, oh
Yeah, it is addicting for sure. Once you get hooked and you're on that For You
yeah.
page, just scrolling and
Oh my
scrolling and
yes. And
scrolling,
then
time flies.
so like a couple weeks ago, I'm scrolling along. And all of a sudden, there's like this one guy, and he's like, okay, stop what you're doing. You've been scrolling for too long. Go get some water, go get a snack. And I was like, I felt, I felt attacked. I'm like, sir, please. I haven't been on this long. Surely it's not been that long. Come on. Oh, it's so true.
We need
And,
some of
but
those
as much as I
reminders
was
once in a
kind of
while.
like, I was so shocked. I was like, this is so thoughtful. I really like this. I'm glad they do that.
Yeah, I need one of those to
Yes.
pop up on my feed one of these days. I'll go on there
Yeah. Well,
for
I think I was
hours,
only on for like an
unfortunately.
hour and a half, 2 hours. And I got the guy going, okay. And I was like, oh.
Mhm.
Like, okay, sir, I'll go get some
That's enough.
water. I'll be back.
That's funny.
But I like that they have that. So I think it's really thoughtful, really considerate. But when I was looking through your TikToks, I believe you had mentioned Insight Timer. I
Yep. Yeah, I used that app. A little background, I did like a little,
okay.
so I'm doing these 30-day challenges for each month of the year. February was meditation, so I wanted to meditate for an hour every day for 30 days. So I got to kind of test out some apps. I did Calm, I did Headspace, and I did Insight Timer. And I think Insight Timer is the best
Yes.
for anyone who
Yep.
just wants the
I
free
completely
version.
agree.
Yeah, there's so many free meditations on there. I want to say I think they counted or they calculated or
Oh,
whatever. They have the number. It's like
yeah, there's like
anywhere
30,000
between 30 and
plus. Yep.
40,000. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So I recommend. I've been actually after that challenge, I was kind of too
Oh,
I was
okay.
over meditating, I guess. I don't want to say that, but because I did really like it, but it's just I think the challenge itself, like forcing myself to do it for an hour every day,
Oh
was like
yeah,
it
that
made it feel like
yeah.
a chore. So yeah, so I kind of I guess I took a
Okay.
break because I was like a little overdoing it. Um, but now I have a little post-it note on my mirror that says meditate more because I stopped meditating, and now I want to try to do it maybe 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night before bed. I think that's
Yes.
probably my sweet spot right there, but
Okay. Yeah,
definitely
I
more
love
often.
that. And there's a lot of research out there that has been talking about when you do like a meditation, like when you wake up, if that's the first thing you do, because you're still in
Hmm.
that sleep state where, you've got all the wonderful chemicals are floating around and you're all like that dream state. So when you
Hmm.
meditate or you're listening, for me personally, I like to have a guided meditation. Okay, so if you're listening to that
Me
guided
too.
meditation, you are more susceptible to take that on and to believe it. And then, you can jumpstart your day. So when you have those, positive messages and, positive affirmations that are going on in the morning, it really sets your day off beautifully.
Hmm.
And then at night, same thing, it helps you to kind of just slow down, calm down, and ease you in so you can get that good REM sleep.
Yes, yes,
Oh, no
exactly. You
worries.
said it better than I could have said it. Um, no, I think guided meditations are by far the best for me because it takes so much pressure off you trying
Yeah,
to, figure out if you're doing it right,
yeah.
especially if you're like a beginner. So I highly recommend it to anyone that is curious, even in the slightest. Just give it a shot, try
Absolutely.
guided meditation,
Yeah,
and
that is
I
because
think
the
I think
Insight
people will
Timer
love
is
it.
one that I've always recommended because it's so great and you can get the free version
Hmm.
and there are so many options available to you that are free. So it really gives anyone who
Yeah,
hasn't done meditation before, it really gives them an opportunity to set them up for success to say, okay, well, here's a variety. Find something that you like. You've got
yep,
guided, you've got just singing
right.
bowls, you've got, you know, sleep, like the theta and the delta. You've got all of that going, the binaural beats. You've got
Hmm.
all these different things. So I think it really gives a newcomer a lot of option and takes some of the stress out of it and some of the fear out of it.
100%. Yep. I couldn't agree more. That's the one thing that I recommend to anyone
Hmm.
that's honestly struggling with anything. Like that can help so much,
Yes,
like in all aspects of your life.
completely.
I think it's huge, and I kind of brushed it off for a long time, like meditation, because
Oh,
it kind
for
of has that like
sure,
hippie
for
stigma to it,
sure.
you know. Yeah, but once you
Yeah.
try it,
Yeah. And
you're
I've
gonna
met
get
so
hooked.
many folks
You're gonna
that,
love it.
I would, make the recommendation, like, just give this a try, just check it out, and they're like, oh, who's got time for
Hmm.
meditation? Because I would deal with so many, a variety of, folks coming into the clinic and they were just like, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm like, they've got a different time limit. You can do a meditation for 3 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, 15,
Yeah,
an hour. I mean, there's a wide variety, and that's so,
yeah,
yeah, I love that app so much. Um, but
yeah. Just replace, scrolling on
yeah,
Instagram for 5 minutes. Replace that
exactly.
with a quick
What did you
meditation.
think of Calm and Headspace? I have not used either of those.
So Headspace, they do have a nice little beginner course that has these little animated videos that pop up before each one. I think you get
Okay.
10 sessions in this beginner course. And for anyone that's like just starting,
Oh,
that's actually what I recommend checking out first because they're like basically explainer videos like on meditation and how you should feel or it's okay that thoughts
awesome.
come into your head during meditation and all that stuff. I think it's a great way for you to
Okay,
learn
cool.
about meditation if you're starting. But after that, Headspace and Calm, they both um, there's a lot that is not free. So you can get like a few things, a few sessions in, and maybe you can just repeat those same ones. But as far as I could tell, there's a lot that was locked until you upgraded to, their premium membership or
Oh,
pro or whatever they call it.
yeah,
So that's why I
yeah,
went
because
to Insight
there's
Timer.
just so much available to you, and I know that they've got even more, and I like that
Hmm.
that the app they are you know giving some of the profits to those that are putting together these um, meditation
Hmm.
meditations or meditation
Yep.
talks and whatnot. So I do like that about it. But it sounds cool because the Calm app it
Yeah.
looks really cool. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
It's got a
pretty.
great user interface. It's very pretty.
So do you have like a favorite um, like person for meditation?
I've added some favorites. Or I've like what is it called? Bookmarked them, I believe Insight Timer calls it, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. But there are definitely some people that I prefer, over others. There's definitely some times where I just could not get into a certain guided meditation because either it was the topic, um, or just the
Mhm.
person's like their voice maybe wasn't,
Yep.
letting me kind of sink into a deep meditation. So, but once you find like a couple good people,
Yeah,
usually they have pretty big libraries of
definitely.
stuff they already have.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think Calm has the kind of celebrity aspect to it. So I think
Oh,
you're going to see
really?
that
Tell me.
promoted more, 'cause for whatever reason. Yeah, because I think LeBron James, he actually
Oh,
has like a
wow.
meditation on there that he did, and I think he kind of endorses them. I'm sure he's paid a lot of money to do that, but I know he also he's genuine about it. He's into meditation, but I see other celebrities on there too that have created some type of either music or just a meditation, some type of like
Okay.
um, guided meditation on there. So there's, if you're looking for like a recognizable name, or someone like that that's
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little more trustworthy to you, then there's some stuff
That's
on
really
Calm for
cool.
sure. Um, I think all three kind of have the basic bare bones aspect, which by that I mean, you can see how long you've meditated. You can go on like, 7-day streaks or 20-day
Oh, nice.
streaks, and they track all that for you. So they track like how long you've meditated each day. And I want to say they all will save the meditations that you've done in the
Okay.
past. So if you forget to bookmark it, you can go back and see,
Oh, I love
the ones that you've done recently. So I think they all
that. Is
have that,
awesome.
which
Yeah,
is
because
really
there are
cool.
some that I'll do, and because there's some really great ones that I like to I'll just fall asleep to. So they might be like a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour long or
Hmm.
something. Just like set those. And, but if
Yeah.
I forgot to bookmark it, it will save that there. So I'm just, oh, love it. So great.
Hmm. Yes, that's a very good feature.
Definitely.
Well, I know we had this originally.
I,
I think this was a 30-minute podcast, but we've been going at it.
yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I
This
think
is
this is
great.
such a really great platform.
I agree. My friend, I actually when this whole thing went down with the virus, I was doing a podcast kind of weekly with one of my friends. He would come over to my house and we would do it because I had a little bit of a setup. But once this happened, neither of us really wanted to break quarantine and continue
Oh, right.
doing this because we sit face to face, and it's definitely not worth the risk. And I didn't know about this app up until maybe just a couple weeks ago. My friend had called me and he found out about it.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
this is so cool.
Otherwise, this would not be happening.
Yeah,
So thankful to him and thankful we found this, and now I get
it's
to
so true.
connect with people that I would have
So
never been
true.
able to
Yeah, I
connect
dig
with.
this. So now, is this like an app that like do you have to like pay for a subscription?
I haven't paid for anything. There's they've got to be able to make money somehow.
Oh,
So there might be, extra features that you pay for. But so what this does is it actually distributes the podcast for you automatically to, I think it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, and like three other ones that I hadn't heard of, three or four other ones that I didn't know of. And then what I do is, so I do that, I let
okay.
the app, send it to those places, and then I export it
Oh, cool.
to my computer so I can upload it to my YouTube channel. So then it's everywhere. And I'll send you a link once I have it up on YouTube. But I think I haven't looked into it, but there must be a way. It said something about sponsorships and
Oh,
um, making money somehow. So once I figure that out,
yeah,
that would be
amazing.
really cool. And then I can pay people to come on, you know? I wish I could have paid you to
Ah,
come
thank
on
you.
because you
Yeah, well, this is
it would
such a
have been
great,
worth
like,
it
I
for
would do
sure.
this anytime. So,
Hmm. yeah, no, I'm gonna have you back on
Yeah,
if you will
so
be
I'm
back on.
open
I would love
to
to
any
keep chatting
topic,
with you for
so
sure.
that would be great. Um,
Awesome. And I
oh,
think
cool.
we can
Okay.
have up to 5 people in here. So, you know, if you wanted to make this one of your
Oh my
virtual
gosh, that would be
happy hours one
so
of these weeks.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I wanna get a bunch of my friends in here one time, and there's endless options when you can have 5 people. There's a bunch of different combinations of
I
people, and then
mean,
you have all these
trying to
conflicting
follow the
personalities.
conversation and it's like a
It'll
pinball
be fun.
machine.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me, what does
It'll be
WIM
entertaining for
today,
sure.
like what does it stand for? What does WIM mean?
hmm So WIM is the W stands for willpower, the I stands for intention setting, and the M is manifestation. So me and my friend kind of,
Okay.
I guess, co-founded this. I think it's been a year now, and he we wanted to create this kind of community around positivity and compassion and all of that stuff. And I think one of his friends told him this combination of the three, willpower, intentions, and manifestation, will essentially, like,
Oh.
those are the three things you need to achieve anything, to reach your goals. So basically, you're setting your intentions for what you want. You can set them each day. Something simple like be more compassionate or be confident. And
Mhm.
so you're kind of going through the day with that in mind to focus on that. That's your intention for the day. And then you need your willpower to, um,
Mhm.
overcome obstacles, because we're all going to face obstacles. And manifesting, what I've learned about it is essentially you're setting your intentions and you're telling the universe what you want, and you're kind of repeating that, day after day. You have this goal in mind of what you want to accomplish. And if that is in your subconscious and you're constantly programming yourself to think about that, the
Yeah.
universe will kind of co-create your
Yes.
dreams for you and with you. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm still learning within each of these three aspects. Um, and I've just put up a video on willpower and the things that I've learned. And I have one plan for
Awesome.
intentions and manifestation too, actually. Um,
Okay.
so that's kind of a little bit of the background, but we're still a little bit all over the place,
Okay.
and it's actually just me running it now. So my focus right now is, kind of preaching that word, or that
Mhm.
um, just preaching WIM, having your willpower and setting your intentions and manifesting what you want. And my main focus now is going to be these podcasts and kind of building this community and learning from people, and just applying, other people's wisdom to my life and having this community impact. I think that's my focus right now. I don't want to overwhelm myself with all these other
Sure.
goals that I have for WIM, but um, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then we just decided to put today on the end of it because a lot of
Mhm.
people, they have these goals and they talk about it, but they always wait to start it. So if you just start today, even if it's the smallest step forward, you're going to get that ball rolling and you're going to get the momentum going,
I
and
love this
eventually you're
so
going to get
much.
there
I think this
wherever
is
you
so
want to go.
fantastic. Yes.
There's a lot of rough edges on it,
Sure.
a lot of stuff still to figure out, but I all I know is that I want this positive community to be surrounding me. I want to be a part of it. I want to bring people together. Um, so that's the foundation I have, and I think that's all I need. And
I
all
think it's wonderful. You've
wherever I end
planted
up,
a
I'll be happy.
wonderful seed. And so now it's just a matter of watering it
Hmm.
and, just letting the seed do what it does and start to
Right.
just grow and break through the soil and start to blossom. So I think this is so cool. And I'm so happy that,
Absolutely.
that our TikTok paths have crossed. Go figure. But yeah, it's so
Me
cool.
too.
So I love that. I love that.
Thank you. I have actually, I don't know if you ended up scrolling through my feed enough to
Yes, I'm
see, but I
so
have these
excited.
stickers that say "You Matter,"
Yeah, I would love to have
and I
some.
would love to send you some. Awesome.
Okay.
I'll send you some for you and whoever else, you'll give them to.
Perfect.
So you can just send
Okay.
me, wherever you want me to send them. Just let me know. You can email me, or whatever you got to do. I
Okay.
have probably close to 600 left, so if you want
Oh
a
my
hundred,
gosh,
just
yeah,
let me know.
that's so wonderful. I like that very
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
giving
and that
those
is
out
so
to people just as
nice
a little
because so
reminder.
many folks
You know.
they just forget and they just kind of get lost in the shuffle and the humdrum of their lives. So it is nice to have that reminder
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You never know
Right?
what a
Oh
little
my
a
goodness,
little
it's
sticker
so
can
true.
do
And
for
a
someone.
smile. Man, there's
Yeah.
so many instances where I like how like Facebook
Hmm.
and Snapchat will like give you a reminder, like a year ago today or 7 years ago today, like this happened. And I had it was my birthday last week, and so I
Right.
had thanks. So I had this reminder that had come up from
Happy birthday.
it was 5 years ago,
Hmm.
and I had written that I was in I was out for lunch with my mom, and then we had decided to stop at the grocery store real quick to pick up something. And these little girls came up to me and they said, "I really like your scarf." And they handed me this little carnation. And oh, I
Oh.
was melted. It was the
Oh.
kindness and just the love and the joy and the positivity that came from that was so lovely. And so I had, I made like a Facebook post about it, and I was just like, gosh, like the smallest gestures, they just, have such an impact.
Hmm.
And reading that last week, that memory, I was like, oh gosh, I love that.
That's awesome.
So it's nice to have these things.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, I love going on. I don't go on Facebook as much as I used to, but when I do, there always seems to be that memory at the top that reminds you of something
Yeah.
nice that happened a year or
Yeah. So
7 years
it's
ago or
really
however
sweet.
long ago. I love it. Um, I would love for you to check out this YouTube channel that I watch.
No, I haven't heard of
I
it.
don't know if you've heard of them. It's called Yes Theory. I think you would like them. I just discovered them sometime late last year, but they're all about positivity and helping people, and without spoiling anything, like for instance, they gave this one guy, um, they made his like life goal come true, which is going to, I want to
Oh,
say Iceland
oh my
or somewhere up
gosh.
north there to see the northern lights and to meditate under them. Like, yeah, it's crazy. They have this big following, so they get like ad revenue from YouTube and whatnot. So they use that money to kind of, help people and make their
Oh my
dreams
gosh.
come true
And
or just make their day better or
okay, and it's
overcome a
Yes
fear or
Theory,
whatever. I
Theory.
I love their channel. I love it.
Perfect. All right, I'm Googling them right now.
Yep. Highly recommend it.
Yay. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Okay.
I will definitely check them out.
No, they're amazing. Yeah. They're they're who I pretty much am. So I started this WIM Today before I knew about them, but once I like found out about them, I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. That is the epitome of what WIM Today was hopefully going to
Oh,
become, and
that's
hopefully
so
will still
great.
become. So
Oh,
they're
that's
like my
so
idols now.
great. I like that very much. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'll definitely check them out.
Let me know what you
Um,
think about him.
one of the things that I had been reminded of was when you're talking about the acronym for your WIM today with setting your intention and manifesting. One of my
Hmm.
favorite books of all time is The Alchemist. Oh, give it
Oh,
okay.
someone recommended that
Please
to
give
me
it a
actually.
read. One of
I
my
haven't read it
Paulo
yet, but
Coelho wrote this book, and it's so impactful. It's incredible. But one of my favorite quotes from it is, "When you want something, all of the universe conspires to help you achieve it. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life
wow.
interesting." And it's just, I love that. And when I read that, I was like, okay, yeah. So yes,
Powerful.
yeah,
Ah,
definitely. So
that
those that
sounds like
have
it's
that
right up my alley too.
altruistic, that core within them, which you definitely do, it's
Hmm.
just, you'll really like it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I am. I just finished actually my challenge for March was reading for an hour every day,
Hmm.
um, for those 30 or 31 days, however long the month is. And I'm actually running out of. There's an audiobook that I have just a couple hours left,
Yes,
and then
Napoleon
this other
Hill.
book called Think and Grow Rich that I'm finishing up too. So
Excellent.
I need a new read. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, my friend got me that book, and like there's a little workbook that kind of accompanies it. He got me that for my birthday last
Right.
year. So finishing up with that.
Very
That one was really good for sure. I recommend that one. But yeah, I think The Alchemist is next.
Mm,
Does there
I wouldn't
happen to
doubt
be
it.
an audiobook
I wouldn't
that
doubt
you
it.
know of?
So yeah, because do you use like
Okay,
Audible or do you have?
I'll look into it.
Okay, I think it is on Audible. I want to say.
I use Audible, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's the convenience
Oh,
of being able to listen to a book when like on your commute or even at work. I'm lucky enough
yes,
to
yeah,
have some
those
times where
are
I can just listen to
wonderful,
an audiobook.
wonderful. And I'm looking right now. Yes, so The Alchemist is on Audible. Yep.
It is on there. Perfect.
Ooh, yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, and
I
Jeremy
will. I'm going on
Irons is the
audible.com
narrator
right
for it.
now.
Oh, that'll be fabulous. I love his voice. Oh, that'll be great.
Oh, it's only 4 hours. Nice. Interesting. I don't know why I had this vision in my
Yeah,
mind
no,
that
it's
The
not
Alchemist
too
was like a
bad.
big long book, but 4 hours is pretty short. Perfect. Well, that is on
Excellent.
my. I'm about to sign in and buy it right now, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just over an hour. You want to?
Yeah, let's do
We
that.
can save
Oh, that'll be
some
perfect.
conversation for the next one if you want.
Yeah, it's about a quarter to 10 right now.
It's probably
So
getting pretty late where you are, isn't it? Okay. Well, I'll let you go then. I appreciate
I
you taking all this time to
oh,
talk
likewise, I know.
to
It's
stranger
been
little old
so
me.
fun. It's such a joy. So thank you.
Hmm.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate this very much. I'll
Okay,
send you a
sounds
link as soon
great.
as
And if
I'm
you have
done
any questions, just
posting
go
this
ahead and
up on
email me.
YouTube.
All right. Well, you take care. Thank you so much.
Absolutely will do.
Good night.